Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Come Play podcast. This is episode 47. I'm your host, Tyler, and joining me today is Bobby and Zach. What's up, guys?
What's up?
I want to get absolutely wasted in this podcast, so that's what I'm going to try and do.
Do it. You won't. You won't.
I was pre-gaming already.
You won't. Check. You won't.
Check. Check.
Today on the podcast, we are going to discuss the effect of star power in the NBA compared to the other major sports. And we're going to have an opinion on All-Star games with the Pro Bowl coming up this Sunday. Brendy is not with us today. He has the case of the blue waffle.
No,
So tough situation there.
He was in the bathroom. He said he had a bad case of the old Bernie Sanders, if you know what I'm saying.
So
That
tough.
came out of left field, and I hate everything about it.
Well, this is why.
God. Tyler is the best with injury reports, I must say, though.
I mean, look, there's got to be a reason they're out. We're a sports podcast.
No,
There
he
you go.
had a legitimate reason. So,
He did have a legitimate reason.
as they
but-
all do. However, we like to give them a better one.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Yeah, you guys should be more understanding of that, as
Yeah.
opposed to the real reason why he's out.
yeah,
Yeah.
You guys have to be
that is the
understanding
real
and
reason.
accepting.
That's the 100% real reason.
No,
What am I
honestly,
talking
he
about?
he
Yeah.
looked down and was just like, okay, yeah, I'm not.
Yeah, I
going in
can't make it
today.
tonight.
Yeah, I'm definitely not coming to the office. Sorry, boys.
So yeah, send your well wishes to Brendy. Hopefully
He's on Twitter at
survives.
Brendon CPN. Make sure you let him know. Tell him
send
we
him a
sent you.
DM.
Yeah, send him some heart emojis. Let him know you're in support of him.
Send some
Hashtag
kissy face emojis.
Brendy strong.
And some eggplant emojis.
Oh man, hashtag Brendy strong. We need that. Can we get that on a shirt?
I hope your blue
Yeah,
waffle
I
and your
will-
fiery shits get better, Brendy.
On that note, we're going to Zach's thought of the week, which
really
which usually brings up shit. So I thought it was a good segue.
This one is a publicly known debate, especially something in the South. I'd say it's something that's pretty polarizing.
Well, as a true Southerner, I have an answer for you.
get the hell out of here.
Sir, I'm gonna need you to take 3 steps back and literally fuck your own face.
Goes to Georgia once, and he's like, I'm a Southerner.
I'm a country boy. I got my
twice.
boots on. I drive.
Watch
Oh, I'm
yourself.
sorry, twice.
I
My
love
bad.
Toby
Watch
Keith.
yourself. All right, what's your
I'm sorry.
thought this week?
So I know you boys are some wing eaters.
Oh yes,
Be eating on the
Absolutely.
wings.
yeah.
Are you guys team drums or team flats?
Oh, this is a easy answer.
Before you answer, I want to say that as someone who works at a wing restaurant, I would like to say I think I know what the popular answer is.
It's definitely Team Drum.
Team drum. Yeah, I'm on this.
Okay,
train.
as crazy as that sounds, to me anyway.
The button is right.
More people, dude. So many people come in and order all flats. So many.
That's
Why?
something you can do.
People
Yeah, wait. That's a better question.
people that order all drums are like, it does not happen often.
It's
I don't know if
easier
it's
to
a
get.
regional thing, but
I didn't even think you could do that.
If you're gonna say it's easier to eat drums, I'm gonna need you to hold it right there,
Well,
sir.
Oh wait, why? How
So
is
listen.
that easier? Okay.
So before I'd answer, I'd like to get to the second part.
Okay.
Oh, it's a 2-parter thought of the week here, boys.
Yes. Ranch or blue cheese?
Oh, for wings, blue cheese.
Blue cheese.
Oh
Blue
my
Yeah.
god.
Blue cheese.
Okay, that's definitely a North thing. Like blue
No,
cheese.
but blue cheese, and it's not even close. By the way. I wanna
Well,
put that in there.
for wings, yeah, it's definitely blue cheese.
Dude, that's definitely a Northern thing too, for sure. Has to be because, I mean, I like blue cheese. But
I'll say that whenever like I go to like B-Dubs or really any wing place, B-Dubs is just has usually the hot spot.
B-dubs is weak as fuck.
I know, but but my point is though, I'm literally, if we have a table of 8, I'm probably the only one ordering blue cheese at that table, at least with the group of friends that I have. I don't know. Tyler's a real one though, so we're good.
So listen, I mean, I won't go as far as to order all flats, but I like flats better than drums.
Oh, yeah.
And let me tell you why.
I was gonna say why.
Can we show a picture of a flat on the stream?
If somebody wants to find me a good picture, that'd be great.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah, I trust Tyler's food eye more than mine. So, Tyler, link me whenever you get a chance. But start explaining, Zach.
So first of all, when you eat a flat, you have to rip it in half. You twist it and then you rip it and make two pieces.
Right.
Right. So both sides have like a little ridge on it that is very good for scooping that motherfucking shit up, dog.
But if you have a decent amount of blue cheese, and not one of those shitty little cups, the drum will go right in and you can soak that thing, dude.
Yeah, but then it gets all over your fucking face.
It's wings. That's what you're supposed to do. It's wings. Like,
yeah, but listen.
Like that I say wings are the best dinner food because nobody can actually be on their phone when they're eating wings. Like, it's impossible.
That's actually a good point.
Yeah. It is a good point. It's me.
I just feel like yes, you can rip into the two, but it's just I feel like it's easier.
If you rip into the two, it's so much better for scooping. Like
for those who
sauce up, dog.
For those who are uninitiated in the art of wings.
But I feel like if the drum, like, you can get more on, there's more surface area to work with, you know.
We're
like
bringing out the protractor.
You can get more blue. You can get more blue cheese.
Listen, dude. Listen, if you rip that flat in half, right? You basically got two wings now that you made from one.
But there's not that much meat on it, though.
You're lying. You just don't know how to clear a wing.
I just want to say I hate this fucking podcast. There's just a picture of a wing on our fucking stream.
All right, so
like,
so now that you have the picture of the flat on screen, let me break down the anatomy of a flat for you real fast.
You have it up and running. Go for it.
All right, so you guys see the little ridge on the bottom left, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That is the ultimate scooper for the sauce right there. Because on the other side, it makes like a little ridge that curves up, and it's excellent. It works perfectly.
Ah, man, I'm still gonna wholeheartedly disagree with you. If
so
you're
listen,
so
listen.
All right.
You rip that guy in half, and it makes two like pockets in the middle of the wing, in which you can scoop even more sauce.
In which you can scoop even more. So here's the thing, like, I think my problem, and maybe this is why I don't like flats, is I don't rip it before I start eating it. Like, I eat it, then I rip it at the end.
You got to know how to eat flats. People that don't know how to eat flats like drums better. That's all I'm saying.
There you go.
Oh my God, but no.
At least for my case.
You know what? I won't be ignorant on this one. Zach, whenever you're eating wings, I want a full-blown, like, MKBHD
overhead
tutorial. Yes, that's exactly what I want.
Oh, well, when it comes to drums, you can just be a savage and eat it however you want to eat it. But
you seem to have this down to a science.
There's an art to eating flats, which should be appreciated.
All right, so everybody, coming soon to the Complay Network, we have Chef Zach going to show us how to eat flat wings. So be on the lookout for that in your sub boxes, I'm sure, at some point down the line. But
listen, when it comes to ranch and blue cheese, I like ranch better 90% of the time, but if a spot has some really good blue cheese, I will fuck up that blue cheese.
Yeah, are you a psychopath?
I will say I think blue cheese can either go one or two ways. Like, it can be really good, or like there's some blue cheeses I've had that just suck.
That's what I'm saying. There's a lot of diversity with blue cheese, and the blue cheese we make at our spot, I like it better because we make it in the house.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you don't store buy everything. Good to know. Good to know.
Our ranch is store bought, which is why I don't like our ranch.
Yeah, store bought ranch is almost never good. The only time I use it is
it's never good ever.
I think I only use it on like freaking like side
I don't even like to buy it at the
house.
store. I don't even like to buy it at the store. I only buy it if it's made from scratch.
Yeah, I definitely prefer from scratch. As with most things, anything made from scratch.
Or like even like the ranch
better.
seasoning mix you can buy, like that made is better than like just bottled ranch. Yeah.
It's not Nature Valley. It's like something Valley around here.
Hidden Valley, bro.
Hidden Valley.
Nature Valley is the granola bars.
I was gonna say, don't you disrespect Hidden Valley? It is.
I knew it wasn't Nature Bar, but I couldn't remember what the hell our name was. Hidden Valley. That's what's usually the popular store bought product is here in the Northeast.
So I know that ranch and blue cheese is like a cultural thing because at like all the buffalo wing spots in in Buffalo,
Well, so
they mainly serve blue cheese. They have ranch, but people are ordering blue cheese up there.
So I gotta assume it's a northeastern thing. This goes for just any food in general, like that. It's northeastern tend to like sweeter things, or I guess what's the word I'm looking for in terms of blue cheese? I guess like there's not. I feel like with ranch there's not as much zing as like blue cheese. I don't know. Tang. Thank you. Yeah, that's 2 for 2 for Tyler already.
That depends.
With helping me think of words.
It depends how it's made, but yeah, like a lot of like the store bought ones are not good. I agree with that, and I like ranch more than blue cheese.
Okay, I don't know. It could be a cultural thing, I guess. But Zach is introducing me to apparently this whole new world how to eat flats. So I'm curious to see how exactly he does.
Dude, I converted my friend the other day because he's talking about how drums are better, and we were at a wing restaurant. I was like, "Sir, sit down, baby. I'm gonna show you the light."
I like to imagine Zach goes on like Master Chef or something. And he's like, "Chef, let me explain something to you.
Yeah, Gordon Ramsay's
have you ever
like
eaten
explaining how drums are better or something. I'm like, are you fucking high?
No, I like to imagine that if Ramsay ever points you out, you're gonna sit down and he's like, Chef Ramsay, I think you are a fucking idiot. Let me show you something. And you just
gets 2 pieces of bread. What are you? What are you?
An idiot sandwich.
I really wanted Brendy to join this stream.
Where's the lamb sauce?
Like right now, and just see a chicken wing on the screen and be so confused.
I like the thought of that. Just where what Brendy doesn't know and what you don't know as an audience is that we just straight up bamboozled you the start of this stream. We are doing a full wing stream for 2 hours. How's that?
I can't believe you guys like.
Yeah.
Can't believe you guys like drums better than flats.
I can't believe you like flats, but I will be for once in my life an open-minded person and hear you out, and if you would like to showcase what you are referring to about the ridges and the proper eating technique when it comes to flats, I will listen, and I anxiously await.
Zach, the next time I have wings, you can bet that I will rip before I eat, and I will give you a fairer opinion.
Right, because then you can get all the meat off in one bite.
I'll argue with Zach about a lot of things. I think it stops with food, like
especially wings.
Yeah, especially
that's a specialty.
Wings. Yeah, specialty wings or any type of like bar food. I feel like I would lose.
Yeah, well, because I spent the past 2 years of my life making it, so.
Right.
What do you think Brendy would? Actually, I feel like does Brendy even like wings? Like
I don't
he's
think
weird.
No, he doesn't eat wings. No. I think I remember him almost exclusively
weirdo,
saying,
bro.
Wings are good at like any point in time for me.
I feel like a lot of times what happens to Brendy is he eats a food one time and it's not good like that just one time, and then he's like it sucks everywhere on earth.
Well, we know one food that he eats that he can't even do right.
Oh, fuck my pizza.
So I really can't, like, if he can't even make a good pizza, I don't even think he knows what good wings are.
Yeah, frozen pizza, like just stick it in and wait, literally.
What? Yeah. That was like our first or second episode. That was
very early. Yes, that clip hasn't been used for a while, so I'm glad I had a reason for it this time. I wanted to do this before Zach started like wing-splaining to us. But I couldn't get to the button.
That needs to be like the intro, like not song, but noise for Zach's Thought of the Week.
Just a beer opening.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Here, let's try it. Hey, Ty, can you give me like a mock lead in to?
Oh yes. So yeah, that's what we're gonna discuss today on the podcast. But first, we're gonna start with Zach's Thought of the Week. I like it.
I like it.
That's gotta be
used. Zach, what do you think? This is your show.
Dude, we need a can opening and we need like a little like short jingle.
A short. We can do. I have to make up at the same time, but maybe
here we are. Like, welcome to the Complete Network. We are live brainstorming for our next show.
We're coming to you live from Zach's head. No, so we go maybe like, and then we do a little bit of a.
We're a team.
There we go. I don't know. You know what? I definitely want to Aaron. Oh no! You know what it is?
What is it?
You know what it is? Hold on. Give me 1 second.
No, I got
So
it.
we start with this, obviously, and then maybe we give him a little bit of the
Braves, baby.
and then when he's
Yes.
when he's done, he just
Smash that motherfucking like button.
Yeah, let's
There
go.
we go, baby.
so we can test the ending out once we're done this.
I forgot that Zach has so many just memorable sound.
We might as well
Sound
finish it.
pad.
Hold on, we might as well finish this off. Hold on.
Pussy.
Damn,
And then,
there's a motherfucking catalog of that sounds.
And then wait, we're not done. Hold on.
Yo, what the fuck?
Welcome to
that one
Zach's
was-
Thought of
I
the
forgot
Week.
that
We're
from-
experimenting
and
with
then,
sounds.
I think this is still by far his best.
LeBron James. Yes.
Yeah.
Shout out to Marv Albert.
Yo, I don't know if it's like just the quality of the sound pad, but I don't know, or the quality of his mic, but that has changed
Oh
drastically.
yeah. I think actually like one or two of these. The beer can came from Xbox because I
Yeah.
remember I ripped it off an Xbox recording. So that came from there, and then I don't know where the other ones came from. But I swear to God, this is still like the cleanest piece of audio ever.
Oh, I know.
Like it's the perfect level. I barely did anything to it. Like it's perfect.
We're gonna have to try re-recording that on the Yeti and see how it comes out.
Oh yeah, we actually absolutely have to do that. That'll be at a later date though. Yeah, this is where we start
Yeah,
now.
stay tuned for the updated can opening sound, folks.
This is where we start upgrading everything on our soundboard now with like V2 of everything at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice quality.
So, all
All right, I'm giving you the
Braves,
cue,
baby.
Bobby.
right, go
All
ahead.
right, and that is it for Zach's Thought of the Week.
Smash that motherfucking like button.
All right,
Oh,
let's
I
get
love it
into.
so much.
I know. So like we're going back for episode 50. We're looking back at podcasts, and I like listened to one today, and just Zach's Thought of the Week. I'm realizing is like just every week is just great. Like it's our best discussion, honestly.
I honestly think it's like I'm gonna pat myself on the back for putting it in the format where it is because it like loosens everybody up. Like
Oh, yeah,
was
it does.
Yeah, it gets
It's
everybody
perfect.
going. Yeah.
It's perfect. Like I'm not gonna complain too much, but I was running around all day today on the road, and I got back like just in time to get everything ready for the podcast today, and I was like a little, all over the place in my head. But now we just talked about wings for like 25 minutes, so I'm
was not
good
25
now.
minutes.
You know what
yeah,
I
I'm
mean.
in the zone. I'm ready to chat about some
So
shit.
now I'm ready to chat, give some opinions, give you some of your hot takes that you guys all come here for. So I'm good now. So I'm ready. I'm ready. Let's go, Ty.
Yeah, it was. It is a great, and also look for a Zach's Thought of the Week podcast. I'm just saying that's in the works.
We're
as
gonna
well.
tease this before we even remotely start developing this. So
I mean, that's what we do here. Anyway, all right, let's get into some topics. We're going to the NBA for the first time in
it's been quite a while since we talked. NBA on
25
this
episodes,
podcast.
probably.
Like I guess in detail. The
Yeah.
NBA. Like I think we bring up LeBron and a lot of the big guys all the time, but I don't think we've talked about anything in detail with the NBA for quite a while now.
No, we haven't.
When there's cheating scandals in baseball, you kind of have to deal with that first and then get to the other shit.
I've been seeing pictures from bars and stuff of you know how they put out signs out front and stuff.
Yeah.
People have been writing on their signs saying I was gonna make a sign today, but the Astros stole it.
I think my favorite thing was yesterday. Like yesterday or 2 days ago, Gritty, the lovable Flyers
God.
mascot, who apparently decked a kid, which is the best story of 2020 so far.
Dude, I saw someone say that they think it's funny how they're reporting to like Gritty as an actual like living,
Yeah.
breathing, like,
Yeah.
entity instead of it being someone like with name and kids and a car
Yeah.
in a costume.
Yeah, Charlie O'Connor, who's a beat writer for the Flyers at The Athletic. I follow him, and I mention him all the time, but he was like, I like how they're talking about Gritty as if he's some sentient being instead of some dude in a costume. So, but I also, I won't spend too much, but I love, my favorite thing about the whole story is the police report, where the email literally says, the photo was terrible, and he hit my son. Maybe bring up the assault first if you're gonna try and make a bullshit claim about Gritty punching your child. Anyway, but he was walking around the Fargo Center, and they weren't messing around. Like he had a trash can and a bat, and they put the Astros logo on the trash can, so you knew what he was talking about, and just started banging it and just walking around with it like the entire period. It was so funny.
Oh, I gotta end on this, and then we gotta start. But
yeah, we gotta go.
But on Instagram the other day, I seen a post. It was like, "What made you fall in love with baseball?"
Oh, no.
And somebody put, just all the sounds. Really, when I first heard the pop of the glove, the crack of the bat, the banging of the trash cans, it just really did it for me. And I was like, Jesus, man,
bruh. Okay, I know nobody's gonna get this unless you saw Star Wars, but the waveform of my laugh just now looks like a TIE fighter from Star Wars, and I'm very happy with that. I must say.
On that lovely note, let's get into the NBA. So, a lot happening this year. I guess I'll start off with saying in the NBA, just with I don't know if it's a surprise to anybody, but the Lakers doing well is a nice story. Our Sixers, I feel like they should be doing better than they are. A lot of rookie madness. Zion debuted yesterday, and of course ESPN has got a huge boner. And John Morant killing it this year. But what we want to talk about on the podcast,
Yes.
what we want to talk about on the podcast is the effect of the star power in the NBA. So I think it's no question in sports, and you can agree or disagree with this, that superstar players in the NBA have the biggest effect on the game. Compared to, say, hockey. Like Connor McDavid, great player, best, in my opinion, best player in the league, but he doesn't have the effect that LeBron James does.
Yeah, in hockey, you have to have, a 2
team.
or 3 stars before you start getting something going, because it just doesn't work in hockey. It's such a team sport. Like
it's just there's so much variance. Like Connor McDavid can even have a bad night.
Individual skill matters less in hockey.
Yeah. I mean, it helps when you're on a line with Draisaitl, but...
I mean, if you look at it, though, like, LeBron can play 36 minutes a night. Connor McDavid cannot play 36 minutes a night.
No.
That'll kill him over a season. So, I kind of wanted to talk about this and just have an open discussion about this in sports and what it can affect and stuff like that. So the first thing I want to bring up is, I think, and I actually want to hear both of your opinions on this off the bat. Do you think at this moment in time, the NBA is the most popular league in sports right
now? No. I still say it's the NFL at the moment.
Zach, what is your thoughts?
It's hard to say. I mean, I kind of think the NFL and the NBA are neck and neck. I mean, obviously the NHL, MLS are not the top, watch leagues, but
I would definitely say it's between the NFL and NBA. But in my opinion, I do think it's the NBA. But I think there's a lot of reasons for that, and I think one of the big reasons is because of the star power thing. Not to mention the teams that are being created, these super teams, and these, in each conference, there's a handful of teams that you could all see going to the finals. Excuse me. Now, the bottom half of that, not so good, but the top half of a lot of these conferences is just very top-heavy, and these great teams, we've seen just great teams in the past. We're seeing it now this year with LeBron and AD, and, the Golden State teams, back in the Heat days with LeBron, D. Wade, Chris Bosh, all these teams, and I think it has a huge effect on attendance. And that's what I want to bring up, because I feel like, again, going out on a limb, and I think NFL, depending, besides, your teams that you always know, like the Chargers, Dolphins, all those teams, a lot of it is close to, if not sellouts, but I feel like it's the same thing in the NBA. NBA does very good attendance-wise. Do you guys think, star power has anything to do with it?
I think it definitely helps. I mean, basketball has become such a much faster game, a much more marketable game. Like, I mean, I swear to God, I don't watch too much NBA. I root for the Sixers, but like, I'll get notifications every goddamn night. Oh, LeBron posters this guy, or somebody else posters this guy. You know what I mean? Like, they just and Twitter goes crazy. Like, NBA Twitter is something else when there's a game on. Like, it's nutty.
You know what's crazy about the NBA is I think that it gets a lot of like free marketing compared to other leagues.
It seems like,
in the sense that it's a definitely a cultural thing with, like, you know, rappers and streetwear skateboarders, stuff like that. Like, all that, like, it's being promoted through everything like that, because just wearing a basketball jersey or you're repping your team is, like, definitely very much a part of streetwear culture and, like, rap culture for sure. I think that's definitely one of the big things that affects it and starts, you know, getting new people on board.
I think it wasn't. What was the baby wearing in his pop video? Was that a Hornets jersey?
Yeah, probably.
Hornets
He's from
jersey.
Charlotte, so probably a Hornets jersey.
Yeah, it's a Hornets jersey. I'm just like, oh, you poor sap. But yeah,
I know. Like, I know J. Cole is always like. Well, I know Travis Scott was at the Houston game the other day, and then I think like J. Cole is around a lot. But I know I've seen him at like. I think he played in the Celebrity All-Star game last year, if I'm not mistaken.
Right. So you have these rappers and stuff going to the game, and they're getting marketing that way because, sure enough, the rappers post pictures of them sitting courtside at the game.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that the NBA is the best league in terms of marketing? Like, do you think they do it the best?
You know what's funny? I would still say the NFL, but the NBA marketing is less annoying than the NFL's marketing. Like, the NFL marketing gets under my skin because I swear to God, they want you to look at everything and think football. The NBA is like, bruh, turn on the channel and see what you're missing, man. Like, look at how good this guy is.
Yeah, and I think, and we've talked about this with the NHL before and their lack of this, but I feel like the NBA is really good at targeting the appropriate audience, and when they target that audience, like, basically, it's not all about basketball. It's like, you know, a lot of it, like, they market a bunch of things. Like, it's not all about the game. It's about the stars, the shoes they wear, you know, the teams, the location. Like, they're very good at that,
That's
I
definitely
think.
what I was saying about it being, you know, just promoted that way. Because think about, like, Air Jordan sneakers. Like, people that don't even know a thing about basketball are wearing those.
Basically, what I was trying to say is, and I didn't get it out right, but they know their audience. And we've talked about the NHL before, where, like, sometimes I'm like, dude, these guys don't know their audience. Like, nobody wants to see Kid Rock play the All-Star Game concert.
What is it? Is it like Maroon 5 and then J-Lo and who is it? Is it Kid Rock? Whatever.
For what?
For a Super Bowl. Who the hell was it?
This year?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think it's Maroon 5 and J-Lo. That's what I think it is.
I know like, J-Lo, but
the NFL is always like 8 to 10 years late with their advertisements and like trying to apply themselves to pop culture.
When you're a league run by a straight boomer, that kind of happens too. You know? I will say what the other thing the NBA has is so Zach was mentioning streetwear earlier.
Mm-hmm.
You're not trying to look like the football player. You're trying to look like the basketball player wearing shorts and a jersey and really nice sneakers, right? Like everybody wants sneakers. Like sneaker deals are a big deal for a reason. Like, and I also think that the players of the NBA market the game better than football players or any other players in any league do.
Yes,
like,
I agree with that.
And you know, with so much load management in the league, hint, hint, nudge, nudge, there's a lot of room for side projects. You have a lot of good ones like LeBron with the I Promise school in Ohio, and you know, a lot of clothing lines and this for all these other players and other charitable organizations and stuff like that. And they're always active on Instagram, Twitter, everything else. They seem to be like the more active player base, at least in terms of social media, that, you know, they always have a ton of followers and are either interacting with fans or fans are just, you know, wanting to see what they're up to. Like, there seems to be more social interest in these players versus others that I definitely think helps the game out for the better.
Because even like, I think like the NBA players' social media is like just Really, Instagram, I think, is a big target for them, but I just feel like they market well on there, and fans can relate to them. Again, they know their audience. So, going along with that, I wanted to mention this. Do you guys think that the popularity in the NBA, and not to mention it goes with the star power team theme too, because teams are creating players are creating super teams. Do you think like the brotherhood that is you can clearly see in the NBA is the reason the game is another reason the game is so popular? Like, I feel like in the NBA, everybody, like all the star players are like kind of all friends, or you can like have that sense of it. Like they're all like
they all practice together in the off season.
Yeah,
like LeBron's running pickups with Ben Simmons.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's no surprise like that these guys are all kind of friends and they all hang out. Like I feel like that as well. Like there's just so many. It creates a lot of storylines. It is just really good for the game. Like I feel like that's another reason it's so popular.
I mean,
they're definitely pretty good at like leaving their frustrations on the court. Like,
well, even still, you see guys kind of pat each other on the back, like on the court. Even like you don't. I mean, we say this after the Kansas State brawl that just happened recently, but I personally like a little rivalry and everything. And I know the teams that are in the league, like most of the time, are kind of help with that. Like anytime Sixers and Celtics play, it's a big deal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that's just the rivalry that's brewed over the years. But and maybe this is the hockey guy in me, but I always like to hear a little chirp. But I mean, the game has definitely gotten a lot cockier. Like all the players are definitely I'm sure whispering to each other on the court out there, you know what I mean? But at the same time, things act right. They definitely seem to kind of leave down the court, and then it's just like summertime comes around, and if you're not playing summer league, hey, you want to fly down real quick in your private jet to Cleveland or LA and run some pickups with like a guy from every team, apparently. You know what I mean? Like some of the videos from some of these pickup games are really fun.
I think, again, this brotherhood and everybody it just seems like everybody knows each other, which is kind of an interesting thing because that's what leads a lot of people to think like tampering is a big problem in the NBA. Like when I think it was like LeBron was like had a meeting, I think it was with like AD before he got traded or something or whatever the case was. Like, but I don't know. I just feel like it's really cool. That helps the game, and like I said before, because you have this brotherhood, guys want to play with each other. We seen this offseason, Kawhi and Paul George really wanted to play with each other.
Can we please talk about this offseason? Like, oh my fucking.
Yeah, it was crazy, and obviously shaped the league this year.
Things took a turn with Kawhi.
Yeah.
He's supposed to be on the Lakers.
Well, yeah, I again, that this because of this brotherhood, and I don't know, I want to say like Paul, George, and Kawhi like knew each other from something before or something, but again, they wanted to play with each other. They signed with the Clippers, but yeah, that was a big thing because took them away from the Lakers. The Lakers get AD, like it's just this big. It just shaped the league, but so you guys,
now the fucking Nets have Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant.
Yeah, which is still weird to me. Like
the Nets.
I don't know. Like the Nets have been bad for like so long. Like not bad. I mean they've been a fringe playoff team, but like they just haven't been like so successful and like forever. I just kind of it's just weird to like see them like pretend like next year they should be really good.
Yeah,
when KD comes back.
I keep saying this is what this is, and they probably won't be. But this was the Sixers' time to really do some damage because of the Nets not really being in the picture until KD comes back. It's funny. You have some teams almost phasing out of existence, right? Like me and Tyler, hit the bar last week and watched the Sixers play the Bulls. Now the Bulls is not one of those teams I'm mentioning, but they're doing bad. But they're legendary. They're a legendary franchise, so they're not going to go away. But something like the Hornets, like I mentioned with the baby wearing the jersey, like they've been a little quiet over the past ever. But it's weird. And that's where, it's fun to kind of remember that the Knicks got nothing out of this, which makes me happy. But it's weird how, because of the off-season moves that happen and where everybody kind of ended up. One, I must say, I'm saying this as a Patriots fan, so I'm sorry for the complete hypocrisy here. I'm happy that there's not really a super team right now. Like, everybody, like, Kawhi was supposed to go to the Lakers. Like, that was always the story. He was going to go play with LeBron, right? And AD. That didn't happen. And he's playing with PG and in the Clippers, right? So now you have all these teams and all these storylines set for these teams and what they're trying to accomplish. But I think that all those teams are now playoff contenders. You know what I mean? Like,
well, it is refreshing. It's refreshing because, I mean, all the state with all the success with the Warriors, like, obviously their time is done now and they're really struggling, but like there isn't that super team. Like there's a bunch of really good teams. Like I just want to go through like some of the like duos this year in the NBA. You got LeBron and AD, as we mentioned, Kawhi, Paul George, KD and Kyrie when KD comes back next year. Again, this is all like with injuries not happening, because the next one's Steph and Clay.
Don't forget about Westbrook and Harden.
Yep, Westbrook and Harden's the next one.
Which everyone said was going to explode, and now look at them. So just a reminder.
James Harden is so weak this season.
Going through the list still, like Dame Lillard and CJ McCollum. Embiid and Simmons, like the list goes on and on. Like there you go. Like you have 9 duos there, and obviously teams around, players around them. Like for the Sixers, like Tobias Harris is there, and some people might consider him a superstar player. Like it's just there's so much. This is gonna be weird to say. There's so much top heavy balance, if that makes sense. Like again, the teams that are struggling, but like there's a good, like, I would say 10 teams that are like, I wish they could just like all play each other in like this bracket style thing where everybody, because it would just be so entertaining. But again, just the effect that the Stars have on the game. And we're seeing it this year. I mean, LeBron last year, when AD wasn't on the team and they had the team that they did, I mean, they didn't make the playoffs. Like, he couldn't do it by himself. This year, they're the best team in the league. Like, it's just, it is like this thing of star power. And when you compare it to other sports, like I said before, I don't think you can really say that any other sport has this. Hockey, definitely not. Baseball, the only thing I would say is a pitcher, but he's starting 1 in every 5 games, so like I don't think that has that much of an effect if you look at the whole season overall. The NFL, I guess, closest thing would be a quarterback, but you still need a team around you. As the saying goes, defense wins championships. And really, same thing with soccer too, which is, yes, you can have a guy who can score, every game or something like that, or, he can score 30 goals in a season, but, the team's success overall might not be where you want it to be, like it would be in the NBA, because a superstar tandem in the NBA can literally carry a team to 60 plus wins. That doesn't happen in other sports.
No, not at all. No, this is the only sport where this happens. This is it. This is literally it. And it's just, again, like, I don't know if, obviously there's a lot of factors, but I feel like this is one of the reasons, in my opinion, that I think basketball is so popular as it is, because you get to see these stars night in and night out, and you get to see LeBron play, like I think Sunday, the Lakers play the Sixers.
I will say there's a reason why the tickets are more expensive when the Hawks are playing the Lakers.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yep. The tickets for the Sixers game are like crazy expensive when they play the Lakers. But Having said that, another topic we wanted to bring up is load management. And
Oh my god. All right.
so the question is, do you think... Okay, let's start off basic. I guess, Bobby, will go to you because I know you have a very strong opinion on this. So what is your opinion on load management?
Why? Like, why? I always understood, like, in other sports, like, if you bench your one of your best players for, like, if there's meaningless games that like if you're about to go to the playoffs, right? Like, you know, in the NFL or something like that, and you bench Mahomes, of course you do. Because every play somebody can get hurt. So of course you're not going to risk that. And I'm not saying people can get hurt in basketball, but why are we doing load management like 4 games into the season? Like,
yeah,
I don't get it. I don't get it. Like, and it's not like dude, I don't. Like, I never understood.
You're gotta make the playoffs first.
You're getting paid so much goddamn money, and let's not pretend that. Look, every game at the end of the day in both baseball, hockey, basketball matters. Okay, like even if you're playing a shit team in the middle of the season, that win might be the win that propels you into the playoffs because you have like a tiebreaker. You know what I mean? Like it. I don't get the point. You're getting paid so much goddamn money and you can't play a full season? Are you kidding me?
I seen a stat, and I don't know exactly what it was, but I'm pretty sure like Kawhi hasn't played back-to-back games since like 2017 or something like that.
What?
Yeah.
You're joking, right? Please
like this, I think, well, one of the games of the back-to-back, like he won't play because of load management. So here's my take on load management is that, as Bobby said before, like I don't understand having load management 4 games into the season. I will say I don't mind if a player like there's a long grind of games and you know maybe he's a little sore or maybe you know mentally he's not there. You know, limit his minutes, give him some time. That I'm fine with. Like once in a blue moon, but you know. 82 game season, if you're like sitting like 20 of them, like that's pretty, like for not injuring, like that's pretty dumb. But
here, okay, so let's say he's a little sore. Yeah, so is everybody else on the fucking floor. And on top of that, hold on. And like, okay, NBA is one of the leagues where they don't hide the injuries, right? So if Kawhi's dick is sore, like, just say it. Why are we putting it under load management?
Well, I think it's more like you manage these guys' minutes so that for the playoffs they're as good as they need to be, you know?
But
that's the theory, and I don't know if I completely agree with it. Like, well, yes, again, as you said before, like there's times where it is stupid, but I mean, I'm definitely more on the fence about it than you are. That's for damn sure.
Well, but I guess I hate the label more than anything else. Like seriously, if I get a notification right now that says LeBron's not playing tomorrow because he has leg soreness, I'd completely just swipe it away and not even think about it.
Right.
I would, like, honest to God. But when you put load management, it's like you're shitting in my cereal. It really is. Like,
sounds like a fake reason. Like, yeah, I can't come to work today. Load management.
It does. It's just like
it literally sounds like a fake call out.
It's like I got to pick up my mom from the airport. Okay, cool. Load management. Like, I hate the. I will admit, I haven't. I'll be dead honest. I'm usually researching these things. I'll say I'm a little light on the research on this topic. Okay. But I feel like it's pretty cut and dry for the most part.
It is.
They'll give them load management. Like you said, if they're a little sore, maybe their leg hurts, maybe their head hurts. I don't know. You know, I never, oh my God, like play a full season, man.
Okay. So
that means, wait, hold on. Let's, what's Kawhi's contract right now with the Clippers? It's a brand spanking new contract. What's his new contract?
It's a max, but I forget what the max is. It's like.
Could somebody look that up for me real quick? What is Kawhi's contract right now?
Yeah, I will look at it.
Both length and money. By the way, to any NBA players who might be listening, if you have been subject to load management, I'd love to hear from you. Okay.
So he has a 3-year
Tristan
contract.
Thompson busy managing his load on Chloe Kardashian.
Oh, Jesus Christ. So Kawhi has a 3-year contract. It's worth $103 million, and it has an opt-out in 2021.
So let me get this straight. So how much did you say he's getting paid? He's getting paid $109 million.
103 over 3 years, so approximately like 40 years.
Okay, let's just go with 40. Let's go with 40. All right. So you're telling me you're getting paid $40 million a year.
Say 35.
35. Let's say you're
million a
getting
year.
paid $35 million. That's 6 zeros.
Yeah,
35
to manage your load.
$35 million. If you're Kawhi, who doesn't play back-to-backs,
Yo,
to play-
coach, bench me. I gotta manage my load.
you're telling me you're getting paid $35 million to essentially play 40 games.
Is that player's choice or is that a coach's choice to do
I
that?
mean, it's kind of
Both.
it's kind of both. I know over the past, I shouldn't say, maybe for 5 years now, it really started to come into play because over time before that, I guess a lot more is going on with sports science is really what I'm getting down to. So they're basically doing a lot with like health and stuff like that in terms of what is going to how they can be at optimal performance for usually playoff time or this and that. So here's the question I have: like if load management means so let's just hypothetically say, which is going to happen, like the top teams get into the playoffs. So the Clippers, Lakers, Sixers. Why am I like blanking on teams right now? The Bucks.
You need like one of those kids placemats with all the NBA teams on them, so you know what you're talking about.
The Bucks, Rockets.
By the way, where do the Bucks come from? By the way.
If Steph and Clay were, playing, obviously Golden State would be doing much better. Like the Warriors, like if load management for those players and they're all in the playoffs means that it gives us the best playoffs possible, because the players are at their optimal condition, performance, whatever you need to say. Like, is that a case for like having load management?
No, well. I don't like what, besides, I guess, common logic, do they know if that actually helps? Because, is there any reason Steph, he's hurt right now, so I guess we keep using Kawhi, so let's use Kawhi. Is there any reason, really, that the public is aware of that Kawhi can't play a full season and then some? Is there any reason?
Again, it's just the sports, whatever they're conducting, whatever research, they're saying that to maintain his body throughout the year, to make sure that there's no problems going into the important games, we're gonna sit you. Like that's really what it comes down to.
But let me ask this question. Let me real quick say something. I will say there's one flaw in my argument so far for load management. It's the average minutes played in the NBA versus other sports. Because you mentioned right at the beginning, LeBron could play 36 minutes on the floor, right? Like he can do it, right? And you can't substitute on the fly. You have to wait for a whistle. And
36 minutes, 3 to 4 times a week,
right?
Plus practice,
right? And that's where I fall. I will say, however, to counter my counter, football players, especially like let's look at offensive linemen. Most of them are in every snap, like every single snap, and they have to do essentially car crashes every snap.
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking at it from other sports, like I feel like a lot of people will say that. Like as a hockey fan and yourself, like I feel like this is tough for you to get a grip of because it is like that. But I mean,
but hockey players will play less minutes, and that's what I'm saying. Is like LeBron can play 3 quarters, But, hockey players but LeBron can't run off the floor at his own convenience. He has to wait for a whistle and then hope the coach says, "Yeah, you're off."
Well,
on hockey, you can jump over the boards at any point in time to get back on the bench.
Well, this all goes back to the star power thing, right? So, let's say
you're not doing this with a second string.
Let's say last year with the Sixers, because they're close to my heart, right? They have their really big four. They have Tobias, Jimmy, Embiid, and Simmons, and they are in third place with and they're whatever. It's game 43. I don't know what. I'm just trying to set the scene here. There's no chance they miss the playoffs. If Jimmy is like, all right, I don't want to play tonight. There's enough star power on that floor to still easily get that victory because they can control it. Because those three, if they needed to play 36 minutes to get the W, they can do it without Jimmy Butler.
But why not still play him? He's almost guarantees the victory. Instead, you have him sitting on the sideline, probably looking probably doing a Zion and falling asleep. But I can't wrap my head around it. No matter what way, because it's there are teams that have the star power, enough star power that if they sit one, they're probably going to be fine. Especially against weaker teams. But then if you play that player, you almost have a guaranteed win at that point. You know what I mean?
I feel the Sixers would still have a guarantee. If they had those three against I don't fucking know, the Pelican, I don't know, the Hornets, I just feel they're still going to get that win. I don't know. My biggest thing is that if load management means that they're going to be optimal for the playoffs and that they're going to show out for the playoffs and it's going to just be unbelievable basketball, I'm all for that.
Well, it's one thing if they're doing load management consistently because they have a nagging injury. If LeBron's knee hurts, right? And either coming off from surgery in the offseason or something like that, where he kind of needs to literally manage the load on his knee a little bit. Okay, that's one thing. You'll never hear that part of it, but that's, that makes it a little bit better. And if he's able to get healed up this way because of the playoffs, okay, sure. But if you're just doing it just to do it, and rest is important, obviously. Is it really making that much of a difference? I think there's a little bit of a break between the end of the regular season and the playoffs anyway. So
it's a few days.
Yeah, but you can recover in those few days, I think, unless you have a actual nagging injury.
No, but say Kawhi plays 82 games, right? By the end of the season, he's going to be drained and he won't be as good for the playoffs. If he plays instead 65 games, take some games off for load management, the stress on his legs might not be as much. He might be feeling a lot better going into the playoffs because he hasn't played that 82 game grind. He's essentially cut 20 games off where he can have that time to rest. So his body is always never in a position where it could affect his performance. I guess my thing.
But why is it that you can't just play him less minutes? In that case, versus having him miss a whole game.
I guess you could.
So instead of giving him 36, you give him 24.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's a. That's a good question. I don't know. Maybe you do limit his minutes, but maybe it's just you know what, we're just gonna get. And look, I think another thing I want to mention is that NBA superstars have as more pull in what the organization says than any other team, any other league.
By a mile.
If Kawhi wants to sit out a game, Kawhi's going to sit out a game.
Yup, and you're not going to say a damn thing about it.
If LeBron wants AD, he's going to get AD. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's amazing. The NBA is fully aware of who controls the league, and it's most certainly not them. LeBron's going to retire at some point, but imagine a league right now if he just bailed out tomorrow. If he bailed out tomorrow and said, yeah, I can't handle this goddamn commish anymore. Like, that's a bad look. And you mentioned the brotherhood. The what if others follow and we have some workers' party revolution in the NBA? like that hurts the game. Like that would hurt the game, and it would almost be, unreparable. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can't fix that.
Yeah, I again, there is just so much pull from these players that they can kind of do as they please almost. Like, if you do that in the NHL, like, you're getting
you are beyond cut.
You're probably getting like a 2-game suspension from the team. But
yep.
I don't know. I think you went into this thinking I was on the side. Like, I am more on the fence than anything. Just because I've seen, like, in the NHL, for example, you have a lot of guys going into the playoffs, or a lot of teams, rather, really going into the playoffs, so banged up. And I know hockey's 1,000 times more violent and I would even think more taxing than the NBA, even though maybe some basketball fans would disagree. But I just feel like that... No, I'm not saying bring load management to the NHL. That's not what I'm saying. But I think that you get the best playoff basketball because these guys are a little bit more well-rested. You're not going into the playoffs all banged up. You're not going in half-staffed. I think I would kind of actually be interested to hear soccer players take on this because, they play 90-minute games, right? So, like, that sounds absolutely crazy where you're literally sprinting the whole time. They usually get, sometimes there's like only 3 or 4 day breaks, but usually they only play once a week.
Right.
But, there's so many more sports that are taxing than the NBA, and that's why I think a lot of fans, like, looking at the NBA are like, okay, load management's bullshit because, like, compared to all the other major sports besides baseball, like, there's no reason that should be happening.
But
and I include soccer on that.
But I was gonna say, like, I assumed your argument would kind of steer towards the I hate load management, because I know that whenever we've talked about load management before, there's a general groan in the Xbox party, and I'm definitely not the only one. And that's why I do wish Brendy was here, because I'm sure he had a similar thing, a similar opinion to mine.
Well, again, and I think it's situation. If you're playing 3 games in 4 nights against, like, pretty shitty teams, like, and it's like the latter stretch of the season, I think that there isn't a problem with that. But if you're, again, as you said before, if it's 4 games into the season and you're like, okay, I'm not going to play tonight because of load management, I think that's a little dumb. Now, over a season, I think that, you can kind of pick and choose where that's at and where you feel the need to. But yeah, 4 games into the season is kind of dumb. I will say, but yeah, this is a very opinionated argument because, again, it's just so. There's a lot of people coming from other sports that just think like the NBA is really dumb because of this. But again, it's just the chronic fatigue goes down a little bit. The risk of injury goes down a little bit with it.
I hate that. At the end of the day, I hate the label. Again, if you just said leg soreness, shoulder soreness, hand soreness, I would look right over it and not question.
Right.
It is kind of dumb. I agree that it's stupid, like, coming into the season, like you guys said, because, like, you literally just had almost an entire summer off.
Yeah.
And now you're already saying that you're sore. Like, did you not work out for an entire summer? Like, it's it's kind of your career a little bit to do that.
Yeah, and you get paid $35
So, I guess later in the season, your team's doing well. You don't want to risk hurting your good players. I definitely see it, but every other game for Kawhi Leonard, like, that's a little ridiculous. Like, how old is he? Can we get a...
I think
he's late 20s, right?
Yeah, I forget.
Hold on, I got this.
I mean, he
Kawhi
might
Leonard
be. He's
is 28.
Okay.
Yeah, so 28 years old, like, and you're saying load management when you're literally like a career sports player.
Oh,
Dude,
God.
I'd say 1 out of 4 games at the very most is what you should be taking off as a star player.
I think yeah, as I said before, it's situational. But so I'm gonna take Bobby off with this. Like,
Oh, this is great.
just say like Connor McDavid, it's like 15 games into the season, and you know he misses a game due to, just let's say they say soreness. Then it's game like 21, and he's off again for sore. Like, would you? Because I know you have a big problem with the title, but like, if say Connor McDavid doing this to preserve himself or something, like, how would you feel about that?
Here, and like I said, because I'll get notifications like, oh, LeBron's out. Oh, this is out for that. And if it was anything other than load management, I probably wouldn't even notice the trend is happening. Like, it would have to take something on Twitter like, oh, Connor McDavid's missed last 4 or 5 games because of soreness in his hand. I would want to know why I would, I guess, assume that they're taking him out as they try to figure out if there's anything more damaged to his hand. But if they're just taking him out for hand soreness, like, did you just sleep on it wrong, bud? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it would
multiple nights in a row.
It would take a bit more, like, either articles or stories or somebody saying something to really define what it is, and for me to buy, like, oh yeah, okay, he's not just sitting for the sake of sitting, he's actually nursing a nagging injury. I don't have a problem with load management when it comes to nagging injuries. I have a problem with it when, again, I just have a problem with the title period, but I have a problem with it if you're just sitting the guy out for the sake of sitting the guy out. Like, really?
Yeah.
Like I said, every freaking game matters, man. I mean, one win could really define if you make the playoffs or not. Especially now that the superstars are split out amongst the league. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I just don't get it.
I guess I can see where you have a problem with the title for sure. It is like, it's kind of become like a meme now though, or like just a joke within sports because of it. But
we could take off work because of load management.
Yeah, can I start doing that? Can I start calling my work and be like, hey, I'm not gonna be.
Every Thursday, I'll just be like, yeah, sorry, I just worked 2 open to close shifts, load management.
Yeah, load management.
Does that work for other jobs?
Yeah,
too,
does that work?
Players? Like,
I you know what? I'm gonna try that. You know, next time I have to go into my job, I'm gonna be like, hey guys, look, I did like 2 big like productions. I don't think I'm gonna be able to make this one. I'm citing load management on this one. I'm sorry. I hope you understand. It's in my contract if you read it thoroughly. That I
bench me, boss.
That you still have to pay. Bench me, boss. You still have to pay me. So I just
yeah,
it just rubs me the wrong way. And you know, look, we've talked about CTE and stuff in the past with like football players and stuff and guys retiring young. And I get and we've talked about fighting and hockey and everything. I'm not saying everybody has to be this freaking warrior, okay? But like, when you contrast it with other sports, why is it this one that like you're sitting out people for the sake of sitting out people? That's what I don't get.
That's what I said. I think people from other sports would have a problem.
I understand the concept of trying to have your stars in the best condition possible. I mean, it's an investment at the end of the day. On a basic level, it's an investment for a championship. So you can market that championship and make more money. So it's weird to me that, you know, we're a league where every game is supposed to count. And maybe it doesn't because that's how the modern league is now and I'm just being ignorant.
Yeah, I mean, that does have something to do with it because...
But it should matter, man. I mean, like, seriously, a win over the Hornets is a win over the Hornets. It's not an L. Like,
yeah, no, I get that. But, like, the 8th seed who makes the playoffs, like, I'm pretty sure that I forget, I looked the other day, like, the 8th seed in either East or the West is, like, 5 games under 500. And, like, they're in a playoff spot. Like, that's just how the league is now. So I feel like there is that flexibility, you know? Like that wouldn't happen in any, like, there's not that flexibility in the other leagues. Like, it's too tight.
Yeah. It's weird for me. I hate it. I personally hate it. And I want somebody. who like sits at home all day and bets on who's going to take load management and loves load management. I want them to talk to me and tell me why. Like to me, it just doesn't make any sense. It's just a weird part of the game that I don't even think needs to be there. I really don't. I don't.
I'd be totally cool with it if we could apply load management to like other real careers.
It's like
that's all Zach wants.
Yeah. Zach wants fairness in the world. That's really all he cares about at the end of the day. He just wants everybody to be fair. If NBA players can do load management, I can go to my accounting job and say the exact same thing. Look, I did 20. Like, look, listen to me, boss. I did 20 spreadsheets yesterday. You have no idea what I was doing in there.
You don't have a backup for me, coach?
Yeah. You say you don't have a second string? I thought you got that guy from Kansas City. The hell? He had a lot of aspirations coming out of college. He ran a 10 spreadsheet dash. Like
10 spreadsheet dash.
That was the dumbest thing you've
This
ever
guy
heard.
is sick on Excel.
Yeah, sick on Excel. Man, have you seen his PowerPoints? Perfect. First rounder, no doubt in my mind. We're tanking this year. We
This
won.
guy coded his own brand new transition for Microsoft PowerPoint. It was crazy.
This guy made his own position. I didn't know you could do certain things in Excel, but now we need a guy who knows how to do those things in Excel. This guy is one of a kind player. He's the LT of the accounting world. That's what he is.
Yeah, so I'm taking a load management day. Get him to do the work.
Yeah. I want to read a contract that says you instead of vacation days, we're just going to say like 10 days of load management paid. That's what I want to say. Next time I'm negotiating a working contract, I'm going to try and see if I can get that in there. I'll provide updates.
I want to end on one last thing before we wrap up this topic, because I actually just thought of another example in sports. Last year, the Dodgers ran away with the NL West, where I think it was like August. I mean, they had the division wrapped up by like 15 or 20 games. So they started like resting their star guys for the playoffs. Like, how do you feel about that?
Again, for the playoffs, I totally understand, because at that point, there's a reason, right? They're not hurt, but they can definitely get hurt, and you want your guys for the playoffs. It's the throughout the whole season bullshit. The fact that Kawhi doesn't play back-to-backs is annoying to me. Like, yeah, really? Like, I'll give them a break on the playoffs aspect. If you either clinch or whatever, or you may have a game win the playoffs, okay, cool. For the next 4 games, you don't have to worry about shit. Yeah, sit down. Don't worry about it. These 4 games literally don't matter. But for the games that do matter, which are supposed to be the most of the regular season games up until like maybe the last 10, play everybody. Like, I don't get that.
Right.
That's the part I don't get. Again, I'll give them slack on the playoffs because that makes sense. There's a reason behind that to me that makes sense. But for every other game during the regular season, nah, forget it. Just get up, bitch. Go play. Christ.
All right. I actually just thought about that, so I just wanted to say it. But, I added this topic to the star power thing in the NBA because Brendy told me, no, there's no way we could have a full conversation about load management. Well, he was wrong. We talked about that more.
He also forgets that he's dealing with Bobby Morison, who can like talk about a paper clip for an hour if you really got him that fired up. So I think we're good.
But no, I mean, just kind of touching on the NBA, because this has kind of been a prevalent thing for a while, and you'll continue to see the star power show in the NBA, just more than any other sport, I think. And I think again, because of a lot of these situations. Oh shit! One more question. Hold on.
Go ahead.
I have one more thing, and then we're definitely wrapping up this. Do you think that load management should have a negative, or should have a negative effect on attendance? Because you get, say we get tickets to a Sixers game, we go to the game. Ben Simmons is out with load management. Like, how would you feel?
I'd be pissed. I'd be pissed. I'd be absolutely pissed.
Yeah,
no question.
Especially if you're like, if I went to a Hawks game and they're playing the Lakers,
right?
Obviously the Hawks is my home team, but they're probably gonna lose. So I want to.
They are definitely gonna lose.
I want to see
yes.
LeBron James and AD play.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I'm going to the game. Like, they're the stars in the league.
Yeah, exactly. I would love this.
If I bought a ticket, the tickets are already more expensive because they're playing the Lakers, and LeBron James isn't playing tonight. Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, like that's the thing. Like,
so mad.
I any sport I go to, I'm always cheering for the home team, obviously, but I like to see some of the best players in the league. I went to an Orioles game, which, yeah. And
there's no best players in the league there.
no, but they were playing the Angels. So I got to see the hometown hero, Mike Trout, play, and he hit a bomb while I was there. You know how cool that was?
Yeah.
I caught myself cheering. It's cool. He's that good. Like, and it's amazing to see.
I told you guys I was in Chicago this Sunday at the Blackhawks game.
Yeah.
They were playing in my Jets, but lost.
Rip.
But the
Rip
Jets
Winnipeg.
lost, not the Blackhawks.
Yeah,
they
Rip
aren't doing
Winnipeg.
too much better either. But you got to see Patrick Kane get his 1,000th career point. Like, what a moment to witness.
That's cool. It is, Tyler. It should affect the Tenants a bit more, man. I'd love to see LeBron play in person. Absolutely have a blast. See LeBron play his person. I don't want him to drop 30 points on the Sixers, but I want to see the man play. I mean, this is you don't get to be in the if you're better than Michael Jordan conversation for nothing, And of course, we never got to see Michael Jordan for obvious reasons. We were both born in the late 90s. So,
yeah.
But now we have essentially the modern version of him and LeBron. I'm not getting into this argument before anybody asks. I would love to see him play. Am I going to? Doubt it. But I'd absolutely love to see him play basketball because that's just somebody, as somebody like me who loves the game. Like, I don't watch the NBA often, but I played left bench in high school for 4 years. I was, I love the game of basketball. I love playing basketball. I like seeing people who are good at basketball. That's why I played left bench, just because I wanted to watch. But, I would love to see somebody who has mastered this game just completely do what he does.
Yeah, because as Zach mentioned before, like sometimes people buy tickets not because of the team, because they want to go see X player play or whatever. Like,
yeah, it's like, go Hawks, but also LeBron, just dunk on these fools real quick.
Yeah,
yeah.
So I just wanted to mention that because I think I remember seeing something last year, like there was a kid like got tickets to see somebody play and then they didn't play and he was like really upset or something. And then it like sparked this whole debate and like on social media. So, but yeah, let's end on that point with that. Again, the load management was actually more of the talk than the stars, but they kind of go hand in hand.
Here's what I'll say though. One, I guess, just to if you were to ask me in terms of the star power, if I like that, the answer is no.
Okay.
I mean, like I said, I like seeing guys who are really good at basketball, so that aspect I enjoy. But it's almost like, well, the other players are good too, and they have to play some minutes. And I enjoy watching some of the lower depth guys, like the guys that you wouldn't expect to go off.
Yeah.
Like, who was the Sixers player that went off on the Bulls that we were
Korkmaz. Well, he's actually like he's gotten better, but that was a guy who like came out of nowhere. He came out of summer league. Right. Like, who the fuck is this guy?
Yeah, and I love seeing that. And I know Tyler likes watching Jordan Poole play for the Warriors. Somebody who I mean, he was good coming out of college. It wasn't like he was bad and they got like a bum or anything like that. But he's starting to finally show out in the NBA. I know Tyler's loving every minute of it.
Yeah.
So I like seeing some of the lower end guys start to go off, because then that makes the other team be like, oh shit, now we got to worry about this guy too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because you're playing LeBron. Who do you think's getting double teamed? LeBron. Because some of the other guys on his line can't even make a goddamn layup. So that's at least my answer to that question. If that's something that popped into anybody's mind.
Yeah.
Anyway.
No, it's it is a kind of a big thing. Like I said, all intertwines. But yep, Jordan Poole is going to be the third Splash brother. It's going to be Steph, Clay, and Jordan Poole. But let's go to our second topic this week with the Pro Bowl coming up Sunday. This has kind of been on my mind for a while because
you and everybody else in this goddamn country.
I'm trying to figure out if All-Star games are like actually like. I use the word important very loosely, but important or just like a waste of time. And that question came up because I was scrolling through Instagram, and I forget who it was, but it was like so and so will not play in the Pro Bowl. I was like,
and
damn, that kind of sucks. And then I kept scrolling. another player when I play. I was like, what is the point of the Pro Bowl then? There's no fucking reason for it if the top guys aren't. If the Pro Bowlers are not going to play, what's the point of it?
So
like,
The point of it is so Hawaii can get an NFL game.
Yeah. Right.
Well, I don't. Is it? I don't even know if it's still in Hawaii. I know it was, but I think it's like just in Orlando now, which is like whatever. Like I would rather go to fucking Hawaii.
Really?
Yeah. Now I do like what the NFL did with like they had like the skills thing the night before, where like I think they had like players playing dodgeball, like they had like catch zones for the wide receivers. Like that is stuff I like, because the NHL has been doing the skills competition the Saturday before the Sunday of the All-Star game every year, and that's my favorite part. I like the skills competition 10 times better than like the All-Star game.
Can I come out with some straight facts right off the bat? Can I do this?
Okay, go ahead. Straight facts. This ought to be good.
This is, and there is no bias to this. I have an explanation for this.
Okay.
The NHL is the best All-Star game that still happens. And
sorry, I cut you off. But I was going to say, if you said that before 3-on-3 got introduced, I would disagree, but now I agree.
Well, but it's not just about the 3-on-3 anymore.
I think it's because they added a competitive aspect, because they donate to a charity and the winning teams.
Yeah, the winning team gets $1 million.
They do that, and there's a cool thing they started last year, and they're even they're doubling down on that this year. So last year they had U.S. hockey player Kendall Coyne, U.S. women's hockey player, come out to the NHL All-Star Weekend and do the skating competition, which is essentially just you doing a lap around the rink as fast as you can. And dude, she is a bullet.
She's fast.
Dude,
yeah.
She's fast, right?
She's also like 5'2", which makes it like a lot. Like she does not have big strides, and she was like competing with the NHL guys.
Yeah, but like my point is this: is that women's hockey is something that's been on the rise, but still doesn't quite have the attention. I'm going to give a shout out to Kate Freese real quick, who's a photographer, sports photographer that I follow and have had some conversations with over, just kind of casual stuff over social media. She takes pictures of the Flyers, Wings, Eagles, all the Philly guys. And she actually put up a thing today asking for the people who follow her because of her work in the NHL, why don't you watch women's hockey? Because she also became one of the official photographers for the Metropolitan Riveters, which is the like Northeastern National Women's Hockey League team. And her photos are great. But what I didn't know, was that they apparently live stream all their games on Twitch, which I had no idea about. And I think I had told Tyler I found the official YouTube channel that uploads all the games after the fact. And I'm going off on another spectrum, but the point is that the NHL has started using their platform to kind of promote women's hockey, which is nice to see. Because if you haven't watched women's hockey, I mean, I'm not going to say I don't watch the National Women's Hockey League. I don't have time for it right now, and I didn't know that it was so easily accessible. I had no idea. But yeah, I watch the Olympics all the time, and 2 years ago was amazing. I woke my roommate up screaming at that game. It was amazing, right? It's good hockey. Right, and this year, from what I read, I think they're doing a 3-on-3 tournament with some professional women hockey players.
Yes.
So that's awesome, right? So now we have essentially 2 games, and one of them is definitely like a nice little thing that, for the women part of the sport that needs some recognition. The NHL is doing some good with the All-Star game now, and sure, the game itself is kind of pointless except for the charity thing, like Zach said, but I think the NHL has kind of went from, okay, this is kind of a useless thing to like, okay, let's do this for some good, for some goodwill and PR. You know what I mean? I think the NHL's done the best at the Pro Bowl, on the other hand.
Yeah.
I have zero interest. Zero.
I feel like the Pro Bowl, obviously they've tried to do, like I said, they've done a lot better with the skills competition, which gives that entertainment. But I feel like for the most part, the Pro Bowl happens because it has to happen. There has to be a Pro Bowl. It's just not entertaining it should be. You can't
just, have something for so long and then just be like, yeah, no, we're not doing it anymore. You know what I mean? And look, not for nothing, being an all-star is still, I'm going to say, still kind of a big deal. Because that means you're having a breakout season or you're having a really good season. You deserve to be recognized.
Well,
on a basic level.
Yeah.
Not about being selected for the Pro Bowl, to getting the title of you are an all-star this season. I think that just that title at its core definition is a good thing. But
well, I
the
was
game
actually
itself
thinking,
does not matter.
I was actually thinking in the NHL because I have a big problem with this.
Oh, the community voting?
Well, no, every team has to have a representative.
I don't think that's a bad thing. Why do you think it's a bad thing?
The Red Wings have like 13 wins and they're sending a guy. Like, that's ridiculous.
Is there somebody having a good season though?
No.
I tend to not pay attention to the Wings. Let's look.
It's not. The thing is, they're not even sending Larkin, like who is their best player on paper. They're sending Tyler Bertuzzi, which if you recognize that name, it's his son. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it's Todd's son.
But sorry, I'm looking it up now. I want to see his stats for this year.
He's got 36 points in 51 games.
Actually, I mean, that's not terrible.
And so does Dylan Larkin.
Okay, that's
however, minus 14 and minus 16 respectively. Just
yeah.
I know, Jesus, every guy on this team essentially has a minus. Oh my god.
So, do me a favor. Look up NHL All-Star snubs because this is what I want to do with this activity. Right. Because Tyler Bertuzzi got in, and look, I mean, 36 points, 51. What was it? 36 points and 51. You said?
Yeah, for both
like,
Larkin
that's not
and Bertuzzi.
That's not the worst thing. Like, that's pretty good. Yeah, but I'm sure there's guys that should have got in above them, but couldn't because the Red Wings needed a representative.
Is that from this year?
That's what I'm saying.
8 NHL snubs who deserved trip to San Jose. Is it in San Jose this year?
No, that was last year's. It's in St. Louis this year.
Hold on.
And if you can't find it, that's okay. But I got
it. I just was making sure I had the right thing. Okay. Roster selections for the All-Star games from ESPN were released. Not surprisingly, Connor McDavid, Draisaitl, Pasta, Carlson, and Jordan Bennington all made the list. But not everyone we expect to see on the St. Louis GM race. It's named. We're not talking about Ovechkin since he opted out, so he doesn't count. Zvechnikov was not named.
Yeah.
Brad Marchand was not named. David Perron was not named. Jacob Markstrom was not named. Max Pacioretty. Cal Makers. Ben Bishop.
All those guys are Western Conference guys.
Yeah,
well, except for Svechnikov and Marchand.
Freaking, if I saw Subban on here, I was gonna lose my mind. But yeah. So I mean, there's a couple of ones. Svechnikov, yeah. Marchand, definitely a snub, but that's not here nor there.
Yeah, and that's where I kind of come in and say, like, that's the one problem I have with the NHL with that. I think that's kind of dumb. And look, I'm a Sharks fan. The Sharks are doing absolutely terrible this year. Logan Couture is easily their best player. He just broke his bones in his ankle. He's out for 6 weeks, going to miss the All-Star game. Like, he's the only guy doing anything on that team. At that point, send somebody else. They don't deserve a representative. Like, they're that bad this year. Send a guy like on that list. Like, Cale Makar should definitely be in the All-Star game. Surprised he's not. So it's just stuff like that. But in the NFL, like, is what I'm really going for, because again, the thing that brought this all up was all these guys backing out of the Pro Bowl, and then at that point, it's like, why are we even playing? Because it's not actually all the best guys. And not to mention, like, the Pro Bowl is an absolute joke because there's no tackling, which is, I get the injury concern there, but it makes the game, like, not that there's no tackling, but guys choose not to, and it just makes the game not fun at all. So I think that I just have a really big problem with the Pro Bowl in that case. With the NBA, I don't mind that because, again, the NBA does the dunk contest and the 3-point, like, all that stuff's fun. And in the actual game, I mean, we talked about the star power. Like, the NBA All-Star game is crazy with all the players there. But But yeah, with the Pro Bowl, like it's just such a joke of a game with like the lack of effort, the lack of tackling, and then again all these guys just dropping out. Like I just think it's really dumb.
They definitely did right in the NHL by adding an incentive of sorts.
Yeah,
Because then it makes it like because you want to go to the All-Star game to see the best players in the league play against each other in a like tournament style thing or whatever you want to call it. And before they added the incentive, the All-Star game was just like, yeah, I'm just gonna show up and fuck around. This game doesn't matter, like because in the NBA All-Star game, it's always like an extremely high scoring game.
Yeah, it's literally like 170 to 160.
Yeah, it's like something ridiculous like that because you have your best players in the league just showing up, screwing around, and they're just there to drain some buckets to the fans. Like, that's it.
So I have a question kind of going off of that because not too long ago, the MLB had a huge incentive in their All-Star game, which was whatever, what's the word? It's not conference. Is it conference? I don't even know. In the MLB, the AL or the NL, whoever won got home field advantage in the World Series. And I thought that was extremely fucking dumb. Like, I thought that was absolutely ridiculous. Like, the Dodgers go, I don't know, fucking 110 and whatever that equals to, and the the first team that came to mind was the Astros. The Astros get 98 wins, and they're in the World Series. But because the AL won the All-Star game, the Astros get the home field. Like, I think that's really dumb. So like, how do you guys feel about that? Like, because that is you talk about like playing for incentive, like that's a huge thing.
Even teams and then stop the game halfway through Game 7 and fly to the other city.
Yeah, that's logical.
Halfway through, like what would it be? The fourth inning?
Yeah, either the fourth or the fifth. Yeah.
let's just what we should do for the MLB? Just give everybody metal bats for the All Stars. Like, why not? Why not? Let's see some absolute moonshots.
See how far they should just pitch golf balls. Why not? Like,
you ever seen Big Papi with a metal bat? Have you ever seen the footage of that?
He could do some damage.
That's an understatement.
I've seen like videos of like on Instagram of people like hitting absolute moonshots and like, yeah, but you're using a metal bat.
My windshield's gone, but at least I got this ball.
Yeah.
But no, I feel like that was a really dumb thing because like there was just no control. It's like in the situation I described, like obviously the Dodgers are gonna have some all-stars, but like they might not have total control of the outcome, and then they get screwed. But that was a huge incentive, so like they played somewhat hard, you know what I mean? So that was a kind of a big thing for me. That is no longer the case, but so I have some questions prepared that I'm going to go through. Let me pull them up. Just some basic questions about everything. So talking about the Pro Bowl, the actual game. I'm not talking about the competition, the skills competition before. What can be improved overall to make it a better experience?
You definitely. Again, I think I tend to be a lot more interested now in the NHL All-Star game because of the incentives they're doing. I'm not going to watch every little bit of it at all. I'm going to watch the highlights probably on YouTube later. But, I just think you need to have something, right? So I understand, like, the Pro Bowl is kind of pointless now because they don't, there's nothing to play for anybody, right? No. They're just there to play football and essentially kind of have a good time. And for the fans, that's not fun. That's fun for the players, but that's not fun for the fans. I think they need to kind of take a page out of the playbook of the NHL and add something extra to promote something unique. Give it a little bit of a flair that like makes you want to tune in and watch. And even if you're not going to watch live, like, it's not uncommon for a highlight to be put on YouTube or Twitter or anywhere else and go viral, and that draws some interest. Like, it's not that hard anymore. So you just need something, I guess, to promote that's unique and different that makes viewers go, you know what? I want to see that more. I want to watch the whole thing next year if they do that again. You know what I mean? This 3-on-3 women's tournament and the NHL All-Star Game sounds extremely fun. And they get a lot of primetime publicity because of this. And I think that's
the
cool.
biggest problem is the players just like not really caring in the All-Star Game.
Nah. And like the shootout competition's fun, at least with the guys who don't take it seriously. I don't know if you guys saw highlights from the KHL All-Star Game that happened recently. There was
it's fucking bananas.
Yeah, there was a player they were doing a shootout challenge. So the player was skating at the goalie, ready to do his move. All of a sudden, like he's like mid-move, and him and the goalie both drop gloves and stick, do rock, paper, scissors. The player wins, so the goalie moves out of the way and the player shoots it in the net. Like that stuff's kind of funny. And I remember one year PK Subban dressed up as Jaromir Jagr with his mullet and did a shot. Like that stuff's kind of funny. If you had like some more jokes and whatever kind of more gag segments, I think it'd be kind of funny. It'd be like the SNL of the NHL or something like that.
Yeah. So like that I agree with, but like with the Pro Bowl, like it's so dry and like it's
just like I don't care.
It's just like, oh, we gotta be here, you know, we're gonna play a fun game and it's gonna be fun for us. But it is like we're
also
really
gonna half-ass tackle everybody. Because
it's just so half-assed.
Yeah, it's
and
just
I understand why, like it's violent as fuck, but like
I just like how the NFL. I like to think that they think that it's football. They're gonna tune in anyway. No, you dingbat. No, we're just waiting for the Super Bowl. Everybody counts this week as a bye week. No, 0. It's a good thing.
I can't even tell you the last time I watched Pro Bowl.
I'll catch like a highlight or two that pops up on Twitter, but because like Bleacher Report and stuff like that are like kind of forced to be like, oh my god, you see that cast? Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah.
But like, it's a good thing I'm busy this weekend. But even if I wasn't busy this weekend, I probably wouldn't tune in. I'm sorry. It's just the God honest truth. The Pro Bowl out of all of the All-Star games, I think is the absolute most pointless, and I don't think it's even close.
Yeah, I would agree.
Like especially
it's not
like close.
It's weird. It's a weird time of year because like it's not all the other sports are mid-season. This is the last game of the season for everybody, and your Super Bowl team, you know, like the 49ers and Chiefs, like they're not gonna have any representatives, and it's just so pointless. Like I don't get that. I don't know.
I don't know, man.
So we've seen this with Alex Ovechkin in the NHL the last 2 seasons, and although it's not being said publicly, I feel like we're seeing this in the NFL too. So maybe it's a harder question to answer because the NFL is the Pro Bowl is at the end of the season for them. But should players be punished for skipping Pro Bowl or All-Star Game, Pro Bowl, whatever?
Well. If there's load management, no. Or if there's load management, yes, you should get punished because I mean you can play an All-Star game if you can't play 40 of those. I can understand Ovechkin's deal why he's done this twice now.
But he gets a once-game suspension, doesn't he?
Yeah, which again is every game matters. I'm sticking by the argument, so he gets a 1-game suspension, which sucks. But I mean, we're talking about. I don't know. I can't totally defend what. Okay, let me back up. He's skipping something that doesn't really matter to him, like at all, or to any player for the most part. It's just a fun weekend with the boys, is essentially what it is. And but in turn, it's causing his team to suffer without him for a game, which I can't be a hypocrite because I said about the NBA, every game's supposed to matter, so he should be there. So maybe he sucks it up and goes. But I have to wonder because load management is one thing because that's an agreed upon thing that the player and the coach discuss and make the call on, right? Do we think that who's the current Caps coach right now? I don't even know who it is.
Todd, what's his name? Todd Reardon, I think his name is.
Okay, so do we think that he had a conversation with him about it before making that decision?
So the reason, to my knowledge, the reason that Alex Ovechkin doesn't play in All-Star games is because Bettman didn't send the players to the Olympics. That was my excuse me, my understanding. Obviously that happened 2 years ago or whatever,
Which
and
is a little asinine, by the way.
Yeah.
That's yeah.
so it's like that was his reason. So like, if you're Todd Reardon, it's like, okay, this is Alex Ovechkin, like he's second and he's second now, right? In the all-time goal scorers, I think, just behind Gretzky, past Lemieux.
He's not second.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean he's still. I mean he's in the top 10.
Okay, my bad.
Yeah, because we still got.
I don't even think it's that, honestly. Let me look it up.
It definitely is. I know it's definitely top 10. But what they're saying about Ovi now is that based on his pace, and if he stays in the NHL, there's a very good possibility he can pass Gretzky, which
Isn't
would
he
be
like
nuts.
Isn't he like? I thought he was like 30.
He's not that old. The question is more about is if he stays in the NHL or not. That's the question.
Right.
That's more the question for me. But yeah, if he continues to play at the pace he's been playing at in terms of his goal scoring, yeah, but that's what they're saying is that he could pass Gretzky, but I know he's definitely top 10. I know it's definitely not 2.
I mean,
but yeah,
regardless, like again, if you're Reardon, like you can't. It's Alex fucking Ovechkin. It's the same thing with the NBA argument. Like you're not going to tell LeBron James that he is going to play. Like you should be able to, but you're not going to. You know what I mean?
Oh, I mean that if you're asking Babcock, then you already know the answer. But I don't know
Was that goals or points? Career
Goals.
Points. Okay.
He passed Lemieux in points. I thought, not goals. Is what I thought.
Oh, my bad. I thought he passed him in goals. Yeah, see how much I'm keeping up with the NHL this year?
Man, Ty is a whole different man these days.
I hate it. I hate it.
Yeah. But like, why? I don't know, man. I mean, why can't you tell me, like, dude, you're costing us a game? I get, okay, I guess I should say this. It's probably an understood culture in the hockey world and in the NBA and everything else that some games to most people don't matter. They don't consider, if Ovi's missing if the game, I don't know what game he's missing because of this, but if he misses a game against the Red Wings, right? And I'm sure internally they're saying, look, if there's any game you're going to miss, you might as well miss this one.
I think that was all-time goals we were talking about.
Yes.
Because
was it goals?
He is number. Let me make sure this list is recent. It is recent. He's number 10.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
For all-time goals.
Yeah, so he's in the top 10, and they're saying that he could pass Gretzky. But
because he's just past Lemieux now, so yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess to me, and for someone who's a fan of a hockey team that needs to win certain games and they don't, right? Like, to me, every game matters, and I want Giroux playing every single game. I want Coots playing every single game, right? So that we have the wins we need to make the playoffs. But, I guess internally there's like, okay, look, we're playing the Red Wings. I understand how you feel, and I understand why you're doing this, so go ahead, go do it. You have my go ahead. You'll miss the Detroit game, we'll still win it anyway. We'll just give Kuzi some Coke, and we'll be good.
Oh my god!
But
low blow.
I'm just saying. But no, he's a great player. But I guess like internally, like as a fan, every game matters, but to a player, that's probably not the case. And that's probably why load management exists in the NBA. For that,
yeah, I was gonna say that. I feel like that kind of goes with my what I was saying earlier.
But now I don't think. I'm sorry. The players in the NHL, I don't think have as much of a grasp on the league as the NBA does.
Oh, not even fucking close.
Yeah, the same cookie cutter every Ty. What's a cookie cutter NHL interview sound like? I know you know how to do it.
Well, we just didn't get enough pucks in deep, and but I love the guys here. We have a great team, and we'll bounce back, and they're a great team over there, and it's a tough one, but we'll bounce back. They really do.
And the fans showed up today, and we don't want to let them down, so we'll bounce back.
And
Yep, thanks.
But yeah, thanks. But yeah, it's just you're right about that though. Like with the whole that's what I was saying before. The NBA players have such a stronghold over everybody else. Like, it's not even funny.
No.
Like the Lakers, if they wanted to, they don't need a coach.
Nope.
It's like LeBron is the fucking coach.
Yep.
Like he's gonna say who's on the team, who's gonna start, like all this
All right,
shit.
AD,
Like,
you're on load management tonight, all right? Go ahead, take a load off. You get 2 seats on the bench. Prop your feet up.
So I did want to mention it because as much as we were dissing the Pro Bowl, I seen some things that they're actually going to do some testing.
With some different rules, right?
Yeah, so the big thing in the NFL this year was the onside kick and how it's literally fucking impossible. So the percentages, I guess, are absolutely
we look at
fucking,
the numbers, but
I think they're testing in the Pro Bowl, and I might be wrong, but I'm pretty positive that instead of an onside kick, they would be testing a 4th and 15 play, and that would basically be the new onside kick. So that at some point in this game, somebody's going to go for a quote unquote onside kick, which is going to be this. But like, how do you feel about that? Like, because
you don't like kickoffs, right?
I
feel like we talked about this before.
I feel like they're just pointless because literally 9 times out of 10, the ball goes to the back of the end zone. It's just like, just put the ball in the 25 and let's get going kind of deal.
I'll say I personally like the wild card aspect of it because you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, you never know. Again, I'm kind of playing the percentages. Like, there has been kickoff returns this year, and like it does make it fun. But like,
yeah.
A lot of the time, it's just a waste of time, and not to mention a lot of injuries come from kickoffs. So that was the other reason. But I just feel like the onside kicks this year. I think it took literally, I'm pretty sure it was 8 weeks before an onside kick was recovered in the NFL. It was something like ridiculous this year.
Yeah, I mean, the percentages are good, and I'm sure most players would probably enjoy a 4th and 15 instead of an onside kick because they know that they can get their high caliber offense out there to do the job, and they're more likely to get it versus the onside kick. But I guess as a fan and someone who never really played football, it's enjoyable to see what can happen if a kick goes right. You know what I mean? It's interesting to see an onside kick get recovered. It's interesting to see, a bounce back ball or somebody drop ball or a kick return or anything like that. You know what I mean? It is kind of cool to see.
A lot of people are saying too, like, I'm kind of like half and half on that because I think there should be an alternative to onside kicks, but like, Patrick Mahomes would literally wreck that because like 4th and 15 is like nothing to him. Like,
right.
That's the thing. That's like the little thing I'm kind of concerned about with that because like you could be up like 21-0 now, excuse me, you could be up like 21 points with like 4 minutes left in the game, and because of this new rule, like, it's not over at all by any means because you can just keep getting the ball back over and over essentially. But my overall question is like, how do you feel about leagues testing out rules and such in games like this that are essentially meaningless?
Yeah, no, go for it. Might as well. I mean, if you're gonna try and get something out of this game, you might as well see if a certain rule works. There's been talks about changes to the kickoff rules for a long time now, so I guess at the very least, you might as well see how the best players essentially in your league handled this type of rule change because you're not going to get a better result on a regular season game. Like, what if they decide like, okay, week 6, okay, no kickoffs, we're doing this for some random reason. So no, I think this is the right time to do it. I mean, besides the preseason, which you definitely shouldn't do it in the preseason because the preseason is to prepare everybody for the upcoming season. So don't change the rules and don't use rules that you're not going to use in the regular season. So yeah, a game like this that literally has no meaning for what the end result's going to be. Yeah, let's try out something new. Let's see if it works. It's like a beta test for like a video game. Might as well see how it goes, right? And I'm sure they're gonna watch the film over and over and over again, and maybe that converts some of the fans as well about how they feel about kickoffs. You know what I mean? I'd love to see highlights from that play when they do it. I'm definitely gonna search for that, but that's really it. I'm gonna watch that and I'm gonna turn it off and forget the Pro Bowl ever even happened. So no, I'm totally cool with this, and I think that's actually a good step in the right direction for the NFL.
You mentioned preseason before. I seen an article today that the MLB spring training this year will feature the robot umps or whatever they're calling them.
I mean,
so
that,
how do you,
that is a
so
whole
like how do you
can of
feel?
worms for me.
Well, I was gonna say, like, how do you feel about that? Because I mean, I feel like it won't have as much as an effect, like if it would in a rule change in the NFL, but like there's definitely an effect.
I mean, sure, try it, but that whole robot ump discussion is something we should definitely do at a later date.
I will add it to my
I'll
list.
say at least the idea of it with, because from my understanding, the robot umps are just judging balls and strikes. That's really it. From what I understand.
Yes.
Which, okay, that makes me feel a little bit better. Because there's nothing worse than Hernandez calling a strike on a ball way on the outside left corner, but whatever. You know, I mean, I want to see how it goes. I'm open to it because, you know, it is annoying seeing the very inconsistent strike zones. It's got to be the most annoying thing to watch baseball on TV because you know where the strike zone is supposed to be and the umpire misses it. Like, it's so annoying.
Yeah.
Like, it's an annoying thing, especially when it happens to your team. And there's been some bad calls. But at the same time, and I think we've kind of briefly talked about this before, you know, the refs making those types of calls sometimes are, you know, obviously it's bad for the team it goes against, but it is a wild card that you have to think about in the game. You know what I mean? And then you wonder if that takes away a little bit of the excitement just a tad. You know what I mean? I hate bad umps and bad refs, and I'll happily chirp them until I get thrown out. But, you know, it's an interesting concept that we're moving to a point where every strike and ball is going to be called 100% accurately. That's a weird thing to imagine, especially for how long baseball's been around. Like, that's a weird thing to imagine.
Yeah, baseball purists have to be so pissed.
It's funny, actually. I'll give a shout out real quick. I have a classmate at where I go to school who's making a documentary on a film, or making a documentary on a league in, I think, like Gettysburg in PA that plays by like 1912 rules.
I seen this, yes.
So she's making a short doc about it because she had a contact in there, and I saw some of the footage, and it's nuts. Like, they make the uniforms, and they have like the patches on the front, and they're no gloves, nothing. It's so nutty. So she's making a short documentary on that. I'm really excited to see it. So shout out to Allie and her film, but yeah, I'm sure baseball purists are going to lose their goddamn mind. But at the same time, though, to the baseball purists, you kind of knew this was coming. Baseball has been a numbers game for so long now. It's been pure numbers. Baseball, I think, is the only game that you can read the numbers and know what a player is. Like, you don't, like, there's advanced statistics in baseball, but like, I've talked about advanced statistics in the NHL and how Corsi and stuff like that can kind of tell you a little bit more about a player. But at the end of the day, I always said for hockey, you really have to watch a player on the ice along with the numbers.
Eye test, as they say.
Yeah, because, you know, look at something like the how do you say it? Is it Selk or Selkie? The Selkie trophy. So the Philadelphia Sports Writers Association that have Coots, Sean Couturier from the Flyers as the current favorite for the Selkie, right? He shut down Crosby and Malkin the other night, which was nice to see. But like, I don't think there's going to be a lot of numbers that tell you that. He's just being an annoying ass on the ice. Like, he's you know, no one's giving him a stat for being at the right place at the right time unless he blocks a shot or intercepts a pass. You know what I mean? Baseball is all about, can you get to the base? Did you get a hit? What was the count at your at bat? How many at bats did you have during a game? How many home runs did you hit? How far did you hit the ball? Like, and since you're not running up and down a field or skating, you know, coast to coast on the ice, you're only going in one of four directions if you're a batter. Like, the numbers are going to tell you what a player is actually like.
Right.
And that's why I think everybody needs to take a Bryce Harper crash course, but that's neither here nor there, and I can't speak about Brendy when he's not here, but yes. So, you know, that's the, you know, so it's going to be interesting with a robot ump. Now imagine a robot ump at an All-Star game.
Well, I was just thinking, like, imagine like what happens if like the robot ump like does mess up and like the player thinks it's like a ball and he gets called for a strikeout. Like you
I
can't argue with a robot.
I want to see the robot throw him out. You know someone's gonna do it. You know someone's gonna try it just to be funny.
Like because it's not a real person. If like you like push it or something, like is that like a grounds for suspension?
I'm sure I'm sure the robot's not going to be the crew chief. So I'm sure that whoever is the crew chief is going to come over and throw him out if he's getting a little mouthy with the robot. I will only.
That's such a weird concept.
I will only accept. I know one thing. If they ever start bringing robot ref/umps into other sports, say hockey for example, I am gonna tell you right now, I am only accepting a robot with Wes Macaulay's voice, and it's just not up for debate.
In every sport.
In every single
Yeah, he
sport.
has to be the standard.
I want to see a robot throw somebody out. Like, I want to see the actual movement of this robot throwing him out. I hope the robot just starts shooting him or something. Like, he starts beating the shit out of the guy, and it's like, what are you gonna do? Charge the robot with assault? I don't think so. I'm just saying. I don't know. We got way off track. I went on a whole tangent there. I'm sorry. I'll
No, it's fine because I had just seen this article and you had mentioned about, it's okay in the All-Star game, but like spring training, obviously that's preparing for the regular season and it's going to be different in the regular season. So is that okay? That was my question, but yeah, I think
the answer is no. Don't do it in spring training.
Okay. Yeah, I kind of agree with that too. Yeah, because it is that preparation.
Yep.
Let's end with just the going back to the original question and kind of answering this clearly. What is our opinion on All-Star games in sports?
Pointless.
Do we think it's important? Do we think it's something that should happen, or is it a waste of time?
It's the game itself is generally pointless. The skills competition is fun. Like I said, the stuff the NHL is doing with the donations and charity benefits and bringing awareness for women's hockey, which doesn't get a lot of recognition. That's the good stuff. The game itself does not matter at all. Zero.
Yeah.
Same thing with the Pro Bowl. I mean, I'll give the Pro Bowl a little more credit since they're trying out this new rule. Perfect time to try it. Go for it. But the game itself means absolutely nothing.
Right.
And, the only and football is a whole nother animal. Like, football is, I think, the only sport in America where even if your team's not playing, most people in the United States are still going to watch because it's just football. Like, it's
right.
They keep saying baseball is America's pastime. That's bullshit. It's football. Let's get real about that. But yeah, the game itself is generally pointless.
Right.
If you're, I still want players to be named all-stars. But I think just put them in with the awards ceremony at the end and give everybody a fucking plaque. Like,
give them a medal.
Seriously.
Like, give them a good noodle sticker.
Look, it's good to see, like, when someone retires, like, oh, he was an 8-time All-Star or 8-time Pro Bowl selection. Like, I like that stat. That's cool because that means that he had really good seasons, quite a few times. That's good stuff. The game does not matter, though. He did not need to show up.
Yeah.
Give him a plaque, give him a medal, send him home. That's all you got to do.
Me and Brendy have in college football. I don't know what other teams do it, but I know Ohio State and Michigan do it. They have on the players' helmets, they have those stickers, and Brendy just calls them good noodle stickers. Like, just give them a good noodle sticker. Like, good job, you did something.
You did it. It's like when you go to the nurse, the school nurse in elementary school, and she gave you an Apple sticker that said you did it on it, and you could barely read the text because it's in black over red. But anyway.
It's like, what did I do?
It's like, what? I came down here to get a drink of water. Or in my case, someone spat in my eye during the playground one time. I had to do the eye washer for 10, 15 minutes. You know how much that sucked?
I don't remember that.
Oh, I can tell you the story after we're off the air if you want.
Oh my God, I need to hear that.
Yeah.
But
you're not gonna be surprised who it is, though. By the way, sorry.
In my opinion, I kind of agree with you. I think the occasion is more important and should be more important than the actual game. Like, I think there is the sense of getting fans involved, and I know they have a lot of the fan fest stuff. Like, that is important. The game, no,
not in the slightest. Not in the slightest.
So, with that, we will wrap up. Zach, do you have a track of the week this week?
I can have a track of the week. I've been listening to a ton of the music.
I absolutely do not have a clip of this.
I was gonna say I asked that question because I was pretty sure that you didn't give anything on the Bobby, so I wasn't sure.
Whoops.
Don't worry about it. I don't this week. No
All
track
right,
of the
okay.
week.
All right.
I'll tweet.
That is okay.
I'm always tweeting new stuff out on my Twitter, so follow me there if
He does.
you want to hear about new music.
You'll get 2 things from Zach on, or maybe 3 things on Zach from Twitter. Good music recommendations, vague politics, and bass nectar. That's what you get.
That
sounds
sums it up, yeah.
Yeah.
The occasional shower thought.
Yeah. See, he's a good follow. I'm not biased.
So before we wrap up the show, I will send it over to Bobby for some technical stuff because he knows way more than I do.
All right, I'm about to lose my mind. Get ready to clip this, Twitch. You're about to. Twitch hasn't pissed me off yet, but a certain video sharing platform definitely.
Not gonna say any names, YouTube.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say anything to you two, but I'm definitely gonna say something to YouTube and how asinine. This is no secret to anybody. Their copyright process is. Episode 45 was uploaded, I would say, I don't know, 4 days ago. Okay.
Yeah, and as you know, we made so much money off the
Of course,
copyright
of
infringement
course.
we committed. Yeah,
But no, I'm
we're
not,
millionaires
and-
now.
And for those wondering, I'm not complaining about the demonetization. We are not even close to that point. That's not the point. But for those who may watch the show on YouTube, which good, glad you want to watch the video version. We put a lot of work into that. You may have noticed that episode 45 is not there. And if you did catch it before it went off, good for you. You saw what is essentially the first CPN exclusive, apparently, and it was definitely not by choice. Episode 45 was an episode where we discussed the best sports moments of the decade, where we sat around and showed a bunch of video clips of some of our favorite moments, and even played some sports calls, some commentary calls. Now, we get a claim almost every video that we put on YouTube, almost every show, for the clips we show, for some of the audio we play. Zach's track of the week is the biggest culprit of this, but the claims never hurt us. It always just like, hey, we noticed this isn't yours. Just letting you know. This is the first claim that we have gotten that has actually taken a video essentially off YouTube. Now, we didn't get a strike, which is a good thing. And we got a ton of claims on episode 45 because we showed so many clips. So apparently the clip that pissed off YouTube or somebody, you know what? Let me put this brief. If you're not familiar with YouTube's copyright system, the way YouTube's copyright system works is that there's essentially a bot that analyzes every single YouTube video that's uploaded and checks for copyrighted content. So if somebody tries to upload a full episode of Stranger Things, you're not going to get it to work. It's just not going to happen because the YouTube bot will pick it up and block it. And as I'm sure those who know anything about YouTube know and follow any type of YouTube creator might know, this has had some problems because of how strict this freaking bot is. Anytime it detects anything that is copyrighted, it gets a claim. And for a lot of the bigger creators on the platform, that has led to demonetization. Shane Dawson, when he was uploading his, I'm trying to remember which one it was. I think it was when he was doing the documentary series on Jake Paul. When he was doing the documentary series on Jake Paul, at one point in the middle of the night when he was asleep, he lost demonetization. And he only lost it for a few hours. He disputed it and won, so we got monetization re-enabled. But so I think somebody calculated, and I believe it was Philip DeFranco, he lost like $60,000 worth of ad revenue during that time that he was demonetized, which is insane. Right.
Yeah.
Which is not good, and it's obviously a problem. And people have been fighting it for a long time now. This one sent me because this is I've had copyright issues in the past I've had so many YouTube channels and projects over like since like 2010 that I've been doing this kind of thing. And this is the first one that really bugged the hell out of me because during the time code that they're claiming here, it's like, I'm not showing anything on screen, but what I am, they tell you where the copyright material is in your video. So they pointed to, it was like, I don't know, 103 to like 106 or like 1 hour, 3 minutes or 1 hour to 1 hour and 6 minutes. So what they said was, so it was during this time. I'm sorry, let me back up. So we had a ton of claims on the video, but this specific one in that time code is what got us blocked. Just this one. The video that they're talking about is the Tiger Woods winning the Masters moment, which is what Brendy brought in as one of his moments, of his favorite moments of the decade. So, for argument's sake, I watched the time code because I couldn't quite remember, what was said or what we were playing like through the audio at that time. From that time code, from that range of time code, we showed the video, yes. And we showed it for quite a while. We essentially showed the whole video. But we never played the audio from the video. Brendy was talking about the video the entire time. During that entire time span that they're quoting, that we stole copyrighted content. Which, to me, is the most textbook example of fair use that I have ever seen, at least from a personal level. Because the term fair use gets used pretty damn loosely. There were people who, I remember it used to be a thing that if you were uploading remember when everybody would make those shitty lyric videos for like rock songs back in the day?
There was an entire court case with fair use with, if you guys remember, with H3H3.
Yeah, I remember that.
And that would,
but
it was actually a big...
It's a big deal, and I forget what the outcome was, and I forget all the details of the case.
I think he actually ended up getting the, he actually ended up, quote, winning, if you will, but
yeah, get the dub.
I don't know if it really ever changed anything.
It obviously didn't, which is why I'm sitting here roasting YouTube now, and I'm sorry if this is long for everybody, but I want to explain.
I just don't understand what their motives are.
Well,
it's ridiculous.
There's a couple of things here, and it's like... So, look, I get it. The bot spotted what is, yes, it's a YouTube video that we're showing on stream of another creator. But if you actually looked at the content, we were showing a video and talking about what was happening in the video, which I guess would put it under a reaction video, which I know there are a ton of reaction creators on YouTube, and I'm sure they have similar problems. I know Joe Rogan, who uploads the show all the time, they had to stop putting the YouTube videos like front and center whenever they were playing one. They had to just play the audio or play or train the camera on the TV or something like that.
Yeah, he doesn't even like show videos in his
which is a shame really, because it adds context. And when you read the rules for fair use, that's like what makes it an illegal use of copyrighted material and a legal use of copyrighted material. The rule states that if you are adding additional context to an already created copyrighted work, it is a legal use of the copyrighted material and therefore fair use. Brendy was talking the entire goddamn time about the video. I don't think it gets any more fair use than that. And it wasn't like we weren't letting the video play and just for 6 minutes and then talking about it. We were talking over the video. Like, how else are we supposed to do a show like this? You know what I mean? Like, we don't show videos too often, but that was a video-heavy video. We had a lot of clips, we gathered a lot of material, and we're paying the price for it, even though everything we did was technically legal. Now, the bitch of this is I filed a dispute through YouTube's, like, they let you dispute it. And, they gave you a reasoned explanation. So I said exactly kind of what I said so far. I'm like, I don't understand how this isn't fair use. We're talking over the video. Like, we're adding additional context. We're using it for reference for another point. Like, I don't know how it's not fair use. I'm probably going to lose this dispute because I've tried to dispute a track of the week thing before, which wasn't blocking us, but I wanted to see what would happen. And we got denied immediately because they said we stole the work. Now, I'll give them a little bit of slack on the track of the week because we do play a clip without any like voiceover or any of that. But I still consider it fair use, at least in my opinion, because it's like a 20 to 30 second snippet that we talk about after the fact. I don't get how that's not fair use. And for this one, again, this one just really bugs me. And I don't know what to do. From my understanding, if you're a partner, is you get like essentially a YouTube employee assigned to you that when you have problems like this, you can go talk to them about this. We are obviously not partnered with our like 12 subscribers. So this, obviously is going to be a much harder process for me. I have to do more research to see exactly what to do because I'm getting this episode on YouTube one way or the other. Okay. I'm getting it up there, but I got to see what the process is because I'm so not confident that we're going to win this dispute, but we got to get the episode up. Like, it needs to be up there. So I got to figure out what exactly to do. If anybody hears this and would like to give me any advice, I am all ears. Come talk to me on Twitter at Robert_Morison.
Hey, YouTube, copyright this
and
eat my fucking ass.
And YouTube, look, maybe you've gotten better. I don't know. I haven't experienced anything like this before. I mean, I have copyright things all the time. It happens. I get it. But we're making original content, and we are a startup creator. We want to talk about sports. We want to talk about video games. And that's going to, and although we have audio versions and this all started out as an audio thing at first, we've evolved to the point where we want to show certain clips so that we can provide context to our viewers and then discuss our opinions on certain things that happen, right? Like, why can't, like, if the next Call of Duty trailer drops tomorrow, why can't we pull that up and just talk about certain things that we like in the trailer? Like, why is that illegal? Right? I can understand if someone's uploading like a full movie, right? That's another thing, but this is like a short video clip. And I'm not saying we're
Just leave it up to the content creators to copyright claim.
Well, I mean, look, there's a whole reason they started this, and I get why they started using the bot and doing the auto detect and everything else, but then it seems like it's impossible to fight it. Like, they just think the bot's right. And I'm not saying there's people not uploading illegal content. There's hours and hours and hours of content illegally being uploaded to YouTube every day, and the bot has to figure that out. There's no way a human employee is going to be able to sort that all through. I get it. I get it. But I feel like you have to make it a little bit easier, especially for guys who are not partnered, and for creators who are not partnered, to dispute things like this. Or at least explain to me why this isn't fair use if it isn't. And then if you can explain to me why in law it's not fair use, I'll hear it. I'll listen. I'll happily listen. And then we'll adjust accordingly. But don't just say, yeah, the copyright holder said no, so no. Give me a break.
Yeah, I feel like if I explained it,
give me something.
You could make.
Give me something. Talk to me.
Changes.
I could be an understandable human being sometimes. Okay, like, just come talk to me. And I know I'm going on like more of a rant here. I'm sorry, but I just want to let everybody know what's happening. I'm extremely frustrated.
Fuck you, YouTube.
I'm extremely frustrated. I want to keep uploading stuff on YouTube. The audio version, if you listen on Apple or Google Play or Spotify or whatever, or Anchor, it's fine. They don't have those bots, so we're good. You can listen to the audio version if you wish. For those looking for it on YouTube, you go listen to it on that for now until I figure out a way to get up, because I'm kind of at the mercy of waiting for YouTube to get back to me. So there's that update. I'm sorry for the late rant, but this is ridiculous. I was really mad at this one. I don't get what's going on, and honestly, it kind of screwed us a little bit. So hopefully we can get it fixed and up for you shortly. But my hands are kind of tied at the moment, so I apologize. Tyler, you can wrap it up now.
Bobby's gonna go flip a table now.
Dude, you have no idea what I was ready to do when I saw that strike. Or that copyright claim. I was ready to book a flight and have some harsh words for whoever I could find on that campus. Just saying.
We will wrap up the show there. It's been episode 47. If you'd like to contact us, we're on social media at Gunplay Network on Twitter.
We're
and
gonna
Facebook.
get copyrighted for the goddamn wing picture at the end of this. I swear to God.
I swear
I'm gonna
to
lose
God.
my mind.
And on obviously YouTube as well.
Well, maybe. I don't know now. We don't know. We hope so.
If you want to watch our past episodes that weren't copyrighted, you can find it on YouTube.
Except episode 30, because I kind of ran away.
Yeah, that one. That's unfortunate.
The lost episode.
That was a hot take one, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Oof.
Yeah, which is the biggest oof of this entire project, and it was my fault.
On that somber note, this is in episode 47. We will hopefully be back next week for episode 48, but until
Goddamn, 47.
All right. On that note, we're done. Thanks for listening. Peace.